Marriage and Family Therapy, past president of the Kentucky Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, and I was also a clinical fellow and supervisor for the American Association of Marriage and Family Therapy. In addition to that, I'm a certified life coach, having completed my life coaching certificate at the Life Purpose Institute in San Diego, California. I want to come to you today and speak with you about marital separation because it is such a difficult time. You can check out my other videos as well about it, but today I want to talk with you also about some of the feelings that you're going to have. Initially, we talked about the feelings of shock and disbelief. It's like, my gosh, we just went on vacation. My spouse told me he loved me. He sent me flowers. He sent me a beautiful card last week. I don't get it. Oftentimes when your spouse tells you, I'm in love, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore, or I want out, oftentimes what is going on is that your spouse has considered this for some time. It is not the immediate fight or issue that you are currently facing. So what I mean by that is they've been disconnecting, they've been pulling away. Within themselves. Some of them hide it pretty well by actually compensating and doing the opposite of that, so you're really confused when they say it. Or you may have noticed that slow pulling away, that frequency and criticism, or just distancing from you, or trying to draw you into arguments. All of those can be warning signs that your marriage is in danger. So initially when this happens, we've talked about the phase of shock, just disbelief. Another phase is one of feeling lost. I want to talk about that for a few moments. The lost feeling comes as perhaps a week or 2 or 3 or 4 go by, and you don't know whether to call yourself separated or married, or what do you say if someone asks you. I say for the most part, go ahead and say that you're married because you are. You don't have to give any other status. But mentally, emotionally, you feel very much probably like a single person because your spouse isn't around and you're separated. So you feel, maybe not as a single person, but you feel alone. It takes a long time to identify as a single person when you come out of a marriage. But you really feel the loneliness. Sort of that person, even though maybe that person traveled a lot and was gone, the fact that you were married was always in the back of your mind, and you had a mate that you hoped that you could rely on, you made mutual decisions with, and you probably co-parented with as well, whether they're adult children or younger children. So there can be a tremendous sense of loss and feeling lost. I call it losing your inner GPS system. That role identity switch, perhaps you're not a wife, in the sense of doing a lot of the things perhaps you did, or a husband, doing a lot of the things you did as a husband. If your children are going back and forth and there's a temporary custody agreement, or you're just simply verbally agreed for that. When you don't have the kids, you may just feel lost. You've had 5, 6, 7 people, in your house at one time, and all of a sudden it's you. Your spouse isn't there, your children aren't there. You can feel absolutely totally distraught and lost. I remember feeling that way the first time my daughter wasn't with me and she went to visit her father. It's been 26, 27 years ago when I went through my separation, but in many ways it's as vivid as it was, as if it were yesterday. Also with my clients, I really experienced that sense of loss with them. One of the other feelings you're probably really starting to get in touch with is anger. How dare he do this? We had all these dream togethers. Look what it's going to do to our finances. We helped build all of this, and it's going to be like starting over. I don't know what to do. Or just the anger. How dare he walk out on me? Doesn't she also, have failings? Was he expecting me to be perfect, or was she expecting me to be perfect? There's this sense of being duped, of being fooled, of being betrayed, especially if there's another person involved. That involves a lot of anger. It could be if there was a betrayal. You don't know if you've been exposed to health issues. You don't know, any of that. And now, while I'm making this video, we're in the middle of the pandemic, so it's even harder to get out and to do what you need to do to take care of you, right? You can't go out as easily and meet with friends or just go out and distract yourself. As the world is opening back up, you can start to do a little bit of that. But a lot of my clients have had to just exercise, take walks, visit outdoor areas just to get out of the home so they don't feel so trapped. So there's a sense of anger, certainly the sense of grieving, which, you start projecting yourself into the future and thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Well, let me tell you, first of all, you need to take it one day at a time. If your mind starts going there like, oh my God, what am I going to do come Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever the holiday is, or so-and-so's birthday, and how am I going to handle that? Do I buy a gift? Don't I buy a gift? All those kind of things start to go through your mind. Well, what about my relationships with his family or her family? Is it okay to call them? Not okay to call them? I don't know what to do. What kind of contact does my spouse want? All these or no contact, or what kind of boundaries do I need to set? These are all really familiar and frequent questions that people have that are going through a marital separation. I want you to know, if you're having any of these, you don't have to go it alone. Like I said, I've been there personally. I've worked with hundreds of couples that are going through this, that, I am a proponent for marriage. I really do the best I can as both a therapist who specializes in marriage and family therapy for over 30 years now, and a certified life coach, to help you get strategies and an action plan, whether or not your uh, spouse wants to go to therapy or coaching, whether or not you can't afford it. I do my best to provide resources for you. So if you want to call me for a free 30-minute phone consultation, I would be happy to do that with you, no matter where you are in this phase or in this cycle of separation. You can reach me on my website at www.createclarityandchange.com or askdonnanow.com. And I would be I would be happy to consult